OK, let's begin in Switzerland, where Libya's warring sides have voted to choose a new interim government. They've elected 4 leaders on the final day of the UN-led Libyan Political Dialogue Forum near Geneva. Abdelhamid Debibah has been chosen as interim prime minister until a general election in December. Now, that decision was announced by the UN envoy, Stephanie Williams.
I am pleased to witness this historic moment. The importance of the decision that you have taken here today will grow with the passage of time in the collective memory of the Libyan people. This process, your process, has come a long way from when we first convened you virtually in October of last year.
We'll cross to Malik Trainer in Tripoli shortly. First, however, to our diplomatic editor, James Bays, who's been following the UN-backed vote from UN headquarters in New York. So, clearly, James, health warning, pitfalls along the way, possibly/probably. Why was it such a sluggish process to get us to where we are right now?
There have been so many obstacles in the way and so many false dawns for Libya. It's worth remembering that they tried something like this 5 years ago. The Skirat Agreement, named after a town where it was signed in Morocco, was supposed to create an interim government and then elections in 2 years. That never happened. The thing never really worked. No one took the new government seriously, and the existing divided governments kept fighting with each other, and the violence and the conflict in Libya rumbled on. It's taken a long time this time because they a year ago had the international support for a process, they thought, but they didn't really, in the sense that there was still people on both sides, international players that were involving themselves in the conflict, setting things back. The UN believes this is a very important moment, but it knows the problems that it's faced in the past. There is now a new government and a very ambitious timeline. The plan, this new 4-person presidency council chosen by delegates that were handpicked by the UN to have proper elections in December this year, with all the Libyan people deciding, 1 person, 1 vote. It's an ambitious plan, and it's a plan the UN believes will work if people in Libya and all the various factions, armed and unarmed in Libya, accept the authority of this new governing council.
James, thank you very much. James Bays, our diplomatic editor there at the UN, live now to Tripoli, and our correspondent there, Malik Trainer. So, in theory, Malik, we'll see a free and fair election in December, but December's a long way away. We're only just starting off in February right now. What are the main hurdles that still have to be overcome?
Well, I think there's a lot of questions that still remain. Although this government is supposed to take power soon, the next step is for the parliament to certify this government. Of course, the parliament has been divided for years, and they haven't actually had an official session. A few months ago, they were meant to unite and come together in the city of Ghadames, but that actually didn't come through. In the end, they postponed the meeting to a further date. The Speaker of the Tripoli-based parliament has said that he is going to call for a session where MPs can meet and certify this government. If that doesn't happen, then the job will go back to the Libyan Political Dialogue Forum, the participants who voted on this government today, and they will certify. So there's a lot of questions to be asked, whether or not the various armed groups in Libya, both in western and eastern Libya, will actually respect these results remains to be seen. But I think for the most part, most Libyans want to see a united government. They want to see their life improve. We've seen the currency devalued, and that's really been hard. Prices have been rising drastically here in Libya for the average citizen. There's a liquidity problem in banks. Many people can't actually go to a bank and receive their salaries. So just simple things as providing for their families has been really difficult because of this division and because of the conflict in Libya. And we're coming towards the 10-year anniversary from the revolution that toppled Muammar Gaddafi. So I think people want something to believe in. There is some skepticism, as James mentioned earlier, that we've been here before. Whether or not these elections can take place remains to be seen, but these officials or these candidates who have now come into power have declared that they will work towards the elections in December 24th. And I think most Libyans want to see elections take place, parliamentary and presidential elections take place, and they hope that this government will lead to that.
Malik, thank you so much. Malik Trainer, our correspondent, reporting live there from Tripoli.